Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel, The Sweet Revenge of Blooming, a channel dedicated to all the victims of narcissistic abuse, in the workplace, in the family, and in a relationship. In this first video, we will be talking about who is a narcissist, because let's say that you want to explain to someone what's going on with you, what's happening to you, or let's say that you have your doubts about who is a narcissist. This is what we will be talking about today. The reason why I have started this YouTube channel and the reason why I have written my books, it's because I agree 100% with this statement from Claudia Moscovici. To make known the characteristics of psychopathy on this planet is the first fundamental step to secure our future and one of our children. Make it become your priority, and this is what I'm doing. So, who is a narcissist? I have listed here 4 different definitions of a narcissist. If you want the scientific definition, the one that we find in the DSM, number 5, a narcissist is someone who shows excessive reference to others for self-definition and self-esteem regulation, exaggerated self-appraisal, maybe inflated or deflated, and also goal setting is based on gaining approval from others. Personal standards are unreasonably high in order to see oneself as exceptional, or too low, based on a sense of entitlement. And the most important part, there are impairments in interpersonal functioning, impaired ability to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others, excessively attuned to reaction of others, but only if perceived as relevant to self, over or underestimate own effect of others, attention-seeking, impairments in personality functioning are relatively stable, but I think the most important part to remember in this scientific definition is the impaired ability to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. And this is the scientific definition. There is another definition of narcissism in the Bible, and we find it in 2 Timothy chapter 3, where we read, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. From such turn away." Turn away. Isn't that interesting that the Bible tells us to go no contact with this kind of people? And you know, the DSM describes them in a way, but the Bible describes them exactly in the same way. Lack of empathy, lack of feelings. And then I have listed the Los Angeles police description. Well, my husband used to be a policeman, and they are educated about personality disorders of cluster B, because most of them, the majority of people, there is a high percentage of people who are in prison who suffer from this kind of personality disorders. So this is why policemen are educated on that. And his teacher, when he started his course about personality disorders, started like this. He said, "Today the title of the lesson is Bleep 101. That bad word that starts with A and ends with E. Yeah, that's another definition that we could use. And the 4th definition is the one that Robert Hare, the creator of the psychopathy checklist, gives. and Robert Hare describes these people as people without conscience. Why am I talking about that? Who am I? These are my books. I am a victim. I am not a mental health professional, so everything I say is based on my personal studies, researches, experiences, and about these are my own conclusions. If you are suffering, I strongly recommend you to go to therapy, and don't use my videos to diagnose anyone, because this is not what they are for. They are to educate you and to give you a strategy to heal yourself, to empower yourself so that you can get free from narcissists. I have written this book in Italian called Vendicatevi Fiorendo, and now my book is in English with the title of The Sweet Revenge of Blooming, because I think that the best revenge is thriving. And I wouldn't call it revenge, I would call it justice, which is different. There is a big difference. But when we are abused, we want revenge. So I'm using this word, but when we thrive, what we really get is justice. And yeah, I have an accent, so please bear with me. This is a very simple video, and I want to explain again very simple concepts about narcissistic relationships. So in my channel, we will be talking about trauma bonding. I want to remind you that what you experienced was not a relationship, it was trauma. I want to remind you that the pain you are feeling is not because you lost the love of your life, but it's a symptom of a disease. It's a symptom of the trauma you endured. How does trauma bonding work? It works in this way. Let's say that you and I are together, and all of a sudden, let's say that something like an earthquake happens, or a shooting, something really traumatic. I will have with you, we will have a very strong relationship. We will develop a bond, a trauma bond. Why? Because our brain does that in order to secure survival. It's a defense mechanism of our brain. So this is why trauma bonding occurs, as a defense mechanism. And with a narcissist, you endure a trauma and another trauma and another trauma, and it creates a bond between you and your narcissist. And trauma bonding relationships are very difficult to break, but they are not impossible to break. They are very possible. It's very possible to break them, and I will tell you why. I will tell you what was my experience and what I personally recommend. Of course, you have to find your own path, but I'm sharing what I experienced. So it was not love. Once again, it was not love, it was trauma. The pain you are feeling, it's because of your trauma, not because you lost the love of your life. It was not love. Now let's talk about the roller coaster ride. With all the narcissists in your life, the relationship goes through these three phases. The love bombing, followed by the devaluation, followed by the discard, and then all over again. Love bombing, devaluation, discard. Love bombing, devaluation, discard. Over and over again. And the love bombing will become every time smaller. And at a certain point, there will be no more love bombing. All you will have will be a perpetual discard, even if you live with this person. In this channel, we will talk also about the various manipulation techniques and the brain damage that they create. This is an aspect that has been largely underestimated. And this is something I want to talk about. A narcissist uses with you different manipulation techniques, and we will talk about all of them in this channel. We will talk about the silent treatment, the gaslighting, the triangulation, the intermittent reinforcement, and by the way, intermittent reinforcement by itself would be enough to mess with your head, future faking, grooming, and we will talk about the brain damages that occur after these manipulation techniques are used on us. But don't worry, your brain is wonderfully made and it's very plastic, and you can recover from that. As I said, this is just a presentation of what will be my activity in this channel that I have created. If you liked this video, which is only a simple explanation of who a narcissist is and why you have to run away from this person, you have to run away because this person is gonna hurt you badly. If you liked this video, subscribe to my channel and spread the knowledge. Explain everyone who is a narcissist. If you have questions and if there is a topic that you want to be discussed on this channel, if you have doubts, if you have any kind of experience you want to share, you want to ask an opinion about, please drop it in the comments and I will answer you as soon as possible. Now I wish you a great day to all of you, wonderful, brave survivors like me. Remember, you can thrive, you can get your revenge, you can get the sweet revenge of blooming. A big hug.